Nico?
Yes.
Hi, it's Mandy, Public Health Inspector with the Durham Region Health Department. I'm here as scheduled for your home-based food premise inspection.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Code.
Okay. So what kind of food items are you planning to make for your business?
I was thinking of making fruit jams and selling them at the local market.
That's great. Jams are considered low risk since fruits have a low pH. What recipe will you be using?
This one is my great-grandmother's recipe, and I'm thinking I'm going to go with this one. I truly think it's the best.
In order to use your great-grandma's recipe, the jam would have to be submitted to the lab for pH and water activity testing.
Why? I thought this would be low risk.
It is, however, we need to ensure the pH is low enough to prevent any harmful bacteria from growing.
Low-risk, acidified foods include jams, jelly, and pickles. If you plan on using a validated recipe, this would be considered shelf-stable since it has gone through verification tests that stop C. botulinum spores from growing using specific temperatures, processing times, and acid levels. This makes the product safe to eat. Validated recipes must be followed exactly as per the directions, including cooking time and temperature, the ingredients used, and the amounts listed in the recipe. If you plan on using your own recipe, a lab test would be required for the items to be approved by Durham Region Health Department. All recipes must be tested at an accredited lab for pH and water activity levels. Low-risk canned goods must have a pH level at or below 4.6, which prevents dangerous bacteria of C. botulinum spores from growing. Low-risk items can be processed by using a boiling water canner that heats food to 100 degrees Celsius, which is 212 degrees Fahrenheit.
Are you planning on selling this too?
I am. It's only vegetable soup. It has to be low risk.
I'm afraid not. Vegetables have a high pH, which makes them high risk when it comes to canning. And for canning high-risk food items, we only allow validated lab-tested recipes to be used.
But it's only vegetable soup. What's the big risk?
Natural low-acid foods are higher risk. They include vegetables, meat, seafood, soups, antipasto, mushrooms, and chili sauce. These food items often have a pH of greater than 4.6. They must be prepared in a pressure canner to reach the proper temperature needed to kill C. botulinum spores. When preparing low-acid canned goods, you must use a validated recipe only and a pressure canner capable of reaching 116 degrees Celsius to 121 degrees Celsius, which is 240 degrees Fahrenheit to 250 degrees Fahrenheit, for 20 to 100 minutes.
My family's been using this recipe for years and no one's gotten sick. What is the big concern?
Well, there have been outbreaks of botulism in the past associated with home canning, especially using high pH foods like vegetables and meats. The bacteria can actually grow and produce toxins in improperly canned and preserved foods. And botulism can cause muscle weakness, difficulty breathing, blurred vision, and in severe cases, respiratory failure and paralysis.
Oh, I had no idea. Thank you so much. This is all great information, but I think I'm going to stick to selling my strawberry jams using a validated recipe.
Sounds good. Here's our canning resource that summarizes everything we discussed today, and at the back here you can find web links to validated recipes should you decide to expand your menu in the future. Just be sure to let us know. And now that you're aware of the potential risks of home canning, you can follow safe canning procedures and enjoy the benefits of the process without putting anyone's health at risk.
Reminder: operators are required to notify Durham Region Health Department when opening a home-based food premises within Durham Region. All food premises are subject to the requirements of the Health Protection and Promotion Act, Ontario Food Premises Regulation, and inspections by a public health inspector. For further information, please visit durham.ca/food safety or contact your local public health inspector at 905 668 2020 or call us toll free at 1 800 841 2729. Summary: high risk, low acid canned products offered for sale or served in a restaurant must meet the following criteria. 1. Be prepared using a validated recipe, and 2. Have laboratory test results for the pH and water activity. Low risk, high acid canned products offered for sale must meet the following: be prepared using a validated recipe or have laboratory test results for the pH and water activity.